going to start over here, assuming that you guys all have your cheat sheets. For the internet people at home, hi internet. What we're doing today is called, what did I call today?
What the pros play?
Yeah. No, what was it?
What the pros play?
Was that what I called? I had a name. No, the most common propositions, what the pros play. I think it was what the pros play.
Okay.
There we go. So yeah, today's called what the pros play. Good talk. And this is similar to another one we did back in December called the most common pro positions. Same kind of idea. I've got 4 boards set up with black to play, 4 boards set up with white to play. And these positions all came out of the Wall Theory database, which is just a free online database. You guys can go search pro positions. And all these games have been played dozens, if not hundreds, and I think in one case, thousands of times in the database, these openings. And you can actually find out what the next most common moves are. And so these problems are all representative of points in these games where the next move, a majority of pros agreed upon. I think there was one board that only 52% of pros agreed what the next move should be. But most of them were between like 60 and 80%. Most of them were a pretty healthy majority. And keeping in mind, I know even 60 or 70% doesn't sound like a lot, but remember that's 70% on one exact spot on the board, and the remaining 30% is divvied up between all the other remaining possible moves. So that's actually 70% is a pretty strong majority. So anyway, I've asked the students here we're actually going to score them. These 8 problems, I said, list your top 3 candidates on a piece of paper, and then circle one that you think is what the pros actually play. Yeah, every circled move that you guess correctly is worth 3 points. Every move that's on your list that turns out to be correct every other move, non-circle move, is worth 1 point. And were any of you ballsy enough to put all 3
Not quite.
guesses for one board?
Yeah.
You did that one? Yeah? You went all out on one? So the theoretical maximum for this is 40 points, right? If you put all 3 of your guesses on 8 boards, it's 40 points. The realistic maximum is 24 points. If you get every board in your top 3, more or less, a good score would be like 8 to 10 points. Depending on how good you are at circling, I suppose. My question to you guys
None of us will break like 5.
well, yeah, my question to you guys is how many do you think you got correct?
0.
0? You think you got a perfect 0?
I'm not too sure.
I don't think you got I bet you didn't get a perfect 0.
There's some that I was pretty confident on. I can't really
Yeah.
put a number on it.
I'm going for 3 points.
3 points?
3 points.
Okay, modest. I was optimistic. As I was thinking about this, I was like, yeah, I bet a couple of you guys, broke 8 points.
Maybe.
I think it's reasonable.
I'm confident that at least 3 people here, a couple of you guys are being quiet, not wanting to put forward your guesses. I'm gonna guess that 3 of you guys broke 8 points. That's my bet. Don't let me down.
Out of the 6 of us.
Oh, that is a lot. 2 of you guys. 2 of you guys
Your confidence is deafening.
broke 8 points. Yeah, where is everybody? This is a small class.
2 weeks in a row, that's small.
Yeah, last week was small too.
Yeah.
Because of the new year.
2017, too much crazy news. Too many people down at the airport protesting.
Probably.
It's very possible. All right, so this one, show me your ideas. What are your ideas? There's one.
That was my circle move too.
There's your circle move, okay?
Yeah, that was mine.
Just another possibility.
Mine was up here.
Okay,
What about point back to the start point?
yes. Anything else?
That's what I did.
Okay, a little new Fuseki style, low, playing low. Okay. You got all yours covered, Carl? Go this side, just play over there, and then,
My last
Figure
one
it out
was the 3 point.
oh, just going directly. All right, so one of the points that you guys touched is in fact the most common pro move here. It is in fact this one.
Yes, 3 points.
So yeah, you keep track of your score.
I bet my score already.
So the question is why? Why do we like this move?
Puts pressure on the corner.
Pressure is a weird word.
It's kind of asking for a response.
Yeah, it's more like, if this is a conversation, this is more of like a question, right? Even before we get to the question, we have a situation here where white has 2 stones in this corner, black has 1, right? So this is like a hot spot, we're outnumbered, it's our turn. Just want to even it up. This is saying, hey, there's a corner open. Can I have some more of your corner? We could just take the corner directly. Of course, this has a very different conversation because what happens in this case?
You're probably gonna lose this.
Two stones get separated.
Yeah, your stones get separated, white gets the outside.
Right.
And it's very early on in the game. We often don't want to lose the outside early on. You want to, keep some semblance to some sort of balance in the middle of the game. So we don't necessarily want to do this right away. Although AlphaGo did this, or something very similar. But then again, AlphaGo also did things like this and would take the outside directly. So who knows what AlphaGo wants?
Shoulder hit.
Yeah, and I should say, this is current to the pro database without the AlphaGo games in it, I believe.
And they're only like a couple games out of
The AlphaGo games?
tens of thousands.
Right, there's only, I think there's over 70,000 games in the database. In the Alpha, we have maybe 60 some odd games, 65 games, I guess.
65.
Well,
Yeah.
including the.
Well, plus there's other release
so
ones
70,
too,
yeah.
so, okay. Anyway, we want to usually respond to this corner. This is also playable, and this is still, I think this is the second most common response. Although far and away, this is the move that settles more directly. I think if you play this, I think you're fine. I don't think there's anything innately wrong with this. But it does, leave invasions, things are still unsettled.
And you're committing to
You can
direction.
play that if you really don't want white to play that.
Yeah, but this is not so bad either, right? Because
No.
you get the corner.
You can settle,
Yeah.
but if you really want out,
Yep, if this is really what you want to develop,
yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
then you're going to look to play, this one.
Yeah.
And I would say you'd especially do this type of thing if you already had a stone here. Right, in this case, you wouldn't look to play here. Hope to get a response and pull back. It works, but it's a little bit inefficient. The spacing is a little bit too far away.
Absolutely.
So instead, we can just play here directly. And if white invades, then we're still happy because this is a nice formation. And now we take the corner. And if white kicks us, we're also happy because, again, that's helping us build even stronger.
Perfect spacing.
So very nice spacing, yes. So playable, but usually you don't see this played unless black has something else on this side to develop off. Okay, so very good. So you guys are winning, right?
Perfect score.
Which are the second and third best moves?
I think this was number 2. I don't remember what number 3 was.
Do we get points for second and third?
No. Again, because all these boards, right, the top move is at least twice as more popular as the second most popular move, right? So this is the one. But I gave you 3 guesses, Mark. You had 3 guesses.
That's true. I got some of it, but not the first one.
Okay, perfect. Well, not perfect. The opposite of perfect. Imperfect.
Well, there's really nothing else you should play except these two in this position.
Right. Yeah. That's. I mean, if you wanted a special strategy,
Tanuki.
yeah, you could Tanuki and play on the other side, and
Yeah.
there's always special people with special ideas.
Tengen. Play right in the middle.
Yeah, just play Tengen. Yeah. It's all good. Okay, this one. So also block to play. This is what is the name of this opening?
Shusaku.
The famous 135 Shusaku opening. Very famous. What do you do? I mean, let's say you're black, right? This could happen to you. Right? You start with a 4-3,
Kinda bring it up.
white plays, you take another 4-3, and boom, white plays Shusaku, and you're kind of committing. James wants more confusion.
I think that's.
Okay, those are 2 ideas. Idea number 3. Show me all your ideas. Come on, get them out. 3, 4. I think that one was already said, Mark.
I know.
Okay. Oh, that's your vote, though.
You said
5.
You said everybody show you the ideas.
Well, you have 3 ideas, right? 6. Any other ideas? Ideas not listed?
Those are my goals that I have.
7. Low. Okay. 8. 9. Anything else? Was that all of your ideas? Was that the comprehensive list? You guys came up with 9 ideas for what to play here?
I think my other option was just to ignore it all and go over here.
Oh, really small corner. Not this one.
Or that one, yeah, sorry.
This one. Okay, that one was already said. So none of you have the move.
Is it one space low?
It is not. 10 ideas. None of you have it.
How about
Keep going. Keep going. Nope.
here?
Nope.
Here?
Nope.
It's not here. We already
No.
talked about that. This is tricky. Is it Any of these?
This is like the famous move Shusaku is famous for. This is like Shusaku's move. It's his opening, and it's like his move.
Doesn't he headbutt stuff? No,
that's
someone
Kitani.
else. Yeah.
It's Kitani. This one.
Oh, it's that one.
This one.
This one's hard.
So before we analyze this move, let's look at some of the other ideas. Why is this weird?
It's not where the stones are sad.
It's not where stones are sad. Well, you could say, look, everything on this board is in balance, right?
You have a chance to take advantage in one of the corners. Like,
But yeah, well, you mean you could take advantage. Yeah, exactly. Right now, we have two approaches going on. And, you could look at them as Miai and say, hey, if I get one, my opponent's going to get the other, and vice versa. So there's nothing I can do about that, so let's just build my own corner. I like that kind of reasoning. Like, that's like, makes sense and logical. Except that the two corners that have fights going on are not equal. And so what is different about them?
One has this
They're swap sides.
stone
Okay.
helping. And then that stone's the weakest on the board.
Yeah, just like globally, like on a supreme global scale here, right? You see this super loose white formation?
Yeah.
Do you have any stones within the super loose white formation in this giant Bermuda Triangle?
the one over there.
Yeah, just this one. So on some like supreme deity level of version of the game of Go, right, this stone is weak.
Yeah.
This move also does two things.
Puts more pressure on that white stone.
Yeah, this actually makes a really nice follow-up. So now when we pincer this one, who has,
Yeah.
the influence?
So pincering directly is not good.
Pincering directly is again, it's like one of those things where you can't really say that it's bad, but it's the pros have sort of figured out this is not the ideal sequence. And then what we've seen AlphaGo do now, all right, in this situation, it just jumps out and just tries to build a wall here and then counterattacks
come
you.
back and attack.
Yeah, now you have two weak-ish, quote unquote, stones.
So go help that one first.
So yes. And white almost always will play the next move over here, usually one of these points, depending on what kind of spacing white wants. And this still gives you follow-ups, because later on, if black wants to build a wall to come back and invade, black can lean. We can also attack with one of these moves. Probably, if you're going to do that, you should kick first and then attack, make it heavy. But this helps our stone get to the center. It can help build the side. It can help solidify the corner. It can also help put pressure on this stone. This is the Shusaku response.
Yeah. Now that you play it, it makes so much sense.
It is.
And you can sort of see if I play this side, I don't get the same benefit. Right? It's like, well, yeah, now white just comes over here and plays something like this. Or maybe even, actually, white probably still just plays
extensions.
this one. And now the stone still feels like it's not in trouble, but it's a little cramped. And in the meantime, white is getting extensions. So we're just helping our weak stone. So no one got it? No points scored?
No points.
All right. Well, that is the traditional move. This one was probably the most surprising board of all these for me when I was looking through these positions in the database, because the move that the pros agree upon, we looked it up, it was 63%, right, of the games in the games in the database with this exact position. 63% of the professionals agreed on the next move, and it wasn't on my radar as one of my top moves. And so what's going on here? What can you say about this board?
Black has played Thunder and Say. White has approached. Black has one space jumped. And white has slid into the corner.
Yeah, and we know what AlphaGo would do, right? Because what would AlphaGo not do here? You guys were paying attention to all the AlphaGo games?
You would have taken the corner.
Well, no, if black is AlphaGo.
Oh.
AlphaGo and never, apparently ever, is going to play that in the opening. So, do the pros play this? Is it?
Yeah, I bet.
I play that.
Yeah? All right, so what are your guesses for where you think the pros played?
One space pincer.
Okay, so here? Where else?
I was leaning more 8-4.
This one? What's
Yeah,
8-4?
That's what I did.
Yeah.
The high one?
Yeah. If they start to push this way, then you can kind of cut them off there. And if they, push on ahead this way, then you can
The weird thing about this move is that it actually doesn't force white to come here as strongly as this one. Because if black now takes this, white can actually still just make a base. Like it's cramped and black gets a good result. Like it's still good. It's still good for black, but white actually isn't threatened in terms of eye space if black gets both of these. So this is why we usually play the low. Because now it's hard. You can't make two eyes here if black also gets this one. Okay, but that's still an idea.
What about approaching
Over here, just Tanuki.
Yeah.
Just build framework. Okay. Any other ideas?
Approach the other corner.
Just say, you can already feel white's trying to build something here, so just reduce it. Okay. James, you have anything we haven't listed? Have a start.
Right in the middle.
Just break it up. Usually if you're going to play right in the middle, you want to dig in.
version of that
Yeah.
was one of mine.
You could, I mean, high is, no one can really say that it's wrong though, right? It's just,
Consistent.
It's
with
closer
their
to,
sounds.
I mean, all of these are on the fourth line. Clearly you're wanting
yeah, and
influence.
None of these moves are what the pros play.
Further pincer?
Slightly further pincer. Right
Because I
here.
was worried about that stone getting hurt.
Counterattacked. Yeah, you're thinking white comes here.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to play here if you didn't want to play here. But if you play here, then white still gets the
And
corner.
black ideally wants to get both sides, right? An extension and the 3/3. So if black is a little further, then it would be harder
It'd be harder for white to
for white to
counterattack.
attack. But also, if white does this, it's harder to seal.
That's
white
right.
in.
And this is probably what this, if you pincer further away,
Yeah.
because you have a hard time sealing white in, white's probably just happy just saying, okay, I'm alive, I can get out.
Totally.
So,
Hard.
still not what the pros play.
What is black's desire here?
Well, here's the thing. And probably the reason why AlphaGo doesn't follow up in this situation is because AlphaGo doesn't know what it wants yet. And neither do the pros.
Attach that.
They don't know if they want to build something over here or if they just want the points and force white out here. And I'll tell you another story. When I was first learning Go and I was like maybe 18Q, I was playing at a Go club and I would play, there's a couple other like, 18 to 20Q players there, including this guy named John. And John is probably still 18Q. He probably is, he's just like one of those, he's one of those guys. He just, 18Q for life, And that's great. He was also like a fundamentalist creationist and believed the earth was 6,000 years old and spent half the Go game telling you about this. And that was his style of Go playing, was to proselytize, young earth creationism.
Trash talk.
It wasn't trash talk. It was like, it was
Game to oblivion, so you
Recycling
could
talk.
escape.
a little bit. But I was telling a story about John in these Go games. When I was 18Q, this is a very personal moment for me. And so anyway, I would play this. I was black. And my opponent would do this, and I learned I should play there. And then John would come over here. All right? And I would do the exact same thing.
Oh no.
And actually, at the time, I was also playing mostly low, some would say. And so then he would do this,
Oh, you're getting bullied.
and I would do this. All right? And then he would come here, and I would defend. And then eventually he'd come back over here and play this and defend. And I wouldn't know to attack this yet, so I'd probably do something like this. And then he would do this.
No way.
And I would lose every one of these games.
It's very symmetric.
Because this is how our games would look. Like, it looks like black has a lot of points, right?
Yeah, they do.
But at the end game, and again, I'd been playing Go, like when I was playing John, maybe for just a couple weeks, when these games were taking place. And again, he had the experience of playing Go. He had played Go at a long time at this point. He would get all these end game points, like here, and then like here. Actually, I think he'd usually play this one first, and I'd play here, and then he'd get this one, and I'd play there. And so he would just nickel and dime this to nothing. Right, so in the end, all my territory would maybe be worth like 30 points. And he would have just a comfortable game everywhere else on the board. So, anyway, I have this very intrinsic, the moral of the story, right? Reaction, a detestment, I guess, or like an internal disgust. That's probably the more appropriate word here. To responding here in this Shusaku. just because I have these like memories as a Q player just beating up this way. And of course, there's nothing wrong with this move, but like for me, it's a little bit disgusting. So when AlphaGo refuses to play this, secretly I'm actually really happy about it. Like in this position, AlphaGo won't ever play that. So I feel a little happy about it. So anyway, back to this actual position. Sorry, Lucy, you were saying something, and then
I forgot.
Perfect.
I thought it was some kind of weird attachment. That's what AlphaGo would do.
Here's what the pros play.
What? Okay.
Just preventing your entire story from happening.
Yeah, this
That was on my list.
That was
was on
my,
your list.
that was my third choice.
God damn it, James! You people are terrible people.
That was my third choice.
You're all terrible.
It was on my list.
I asked for your ideas, and of course, it's all on all of your lists now. You just didn't want to admit it.
No, I committed to it.
So, this move actually was surprising me because I was expecting pros to do something a little more active. Again, take this into account somehow, and I guess this does. But I was really expecting something more like this. And so when I saw don't play this, just play
Yeah, that was on my
immediately,
list.
I was a little bit surprised. But part of the thing that this move does that this one doesn't is that this move makes this move start to look really good. Because now, if white goes and takes the corner, all right, you guys might have seen this Shusaku before, although you should technically have a ladder to play this. So maybe it doesn't look as good as I thought. But you can play.
You do have the ladder.
Do we know?
Yeah, as black, for sure. Because there's nothing here. Right?
It doesn't hit the 4/4.
It's
I'm
this
just going to
one.
go through
It
this
goes right
point.
here.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh, cool.
Okay. And now this box. Oh, that's a box.
It's pretty nice.
It's a nice box. Whereas if you had tried out this Shusaku, and especially if you followed it up this way, this is also a box, but the problem is there's part of your box isn't made out of strong cardboard,
And you don't have the ladder anymore.
and then you wouldn't have the ladder anymore, so you don't necessarily want to
Ladder's bad.
make that exchange. So let's play there. Apparently that's the pro answer. So,
When in doubt, take no stars. When in doubt, take no stars.
well, that's not going to work for all these problems. But yeah, because you don't really know what direction is going to be bigger this side. But we know we already have all this fourth line development, and we can build faster than white can. So let's build the most direct way. But I was still very surprised it wasn't here.
Yeah, me too.
It makes sense, though.
Yeah, I think it does, but it's also not intuitive. Like there's a
Yeah,
lot of like
you can
extra
rationalize
stuff, and we're doing a little bit of a mental backflip.
Yeah, and then what you said earlier about that, the ladder, after you exchange this, the ladder is like no good.
No good, yeah.
Oh, that's so delicate.
Okay. This one. So I thought this one was the easiest one, but you guys were all just pieces of work on this one. All right. Show me what you got. What are your ideas? One. Two. Taisha, 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. So you guys all have all 3 of these spots now.
That's actually my entire
3 in
list.
a
Is all
row.
3 lists.
8. 9. This is good. You guys
I
are,
also had 3/7. Let's see.
I'm gonna have them all covered in them.
so on this list was the correct move.
Yay.
Which one?
Teamwork.
Here's what the pros play.
Okay, cool. First instinct is.
You need this. This is a really big move,
It feels so slow, though.
but you need it. Like you really need it.
Let's get out
Just
of
feels
that
like
slide.
white can keep going, but then I guess you're getting territory while white is jumping
Yeah.
in.
So
no.
let's look at this. So number 1, if white goes here, your corner. Oh, you're going to respond to it?
Oh, no, I'm just saying it like in the future eventually.
Okay. Well, first of all, if you don't respond to it, white can just play here and sort of make your life miserable,
Yeah.
right? And now white's just stronger on this side and much stronger on that side. Like, this move makes you so miserable. If you try to prevent white from crushing your eye space into oblivion here, and try to make something for yourself, well, now you've just made white's outside even stronger and this stone even sadder. Remember, if white is weak, your stones are not weak, right? If your opponent is strong, your stones are weak. If your opponent's weak, your stones are strong.
And just getting sealed in the corner is
it's so painful, because not only do you limit the number of points you get, you're losing influence on two sides of this board. And so if we get out here, you guys were all very worried about, you getting counterattacked here, stuff like this. But what about this stick? This stick is not strong. We can continue. This is a game, right? We can just jump out and just harass the stick. No problem. Like, this is even. This is fine. This is fair. If, however, we lose the ability to, let's say we pick this one, which looks very reasonable. Like, this says, oh, we're going to put pressure on the corner. We're going to help the stone. We're going to isolate the stick. All very reasonable. But then white plays here.
No longer a stick.
Now the stick's a lot harder to deal with. And you might say, but Nick, I can peep at the stick. No, this peep is terrible. Okay? This peep is no good. Are you going to cut here?
The one I would if I played that.
The shape. So white has many ways to deal with this at this point.
Yeah.
White could actually Hane first and ask, I think. All right, because are you going to block here?
then you have to give up the other side.
Double Atari.
I'm not even sure if double Atari is the right way to play it. Of course there's this double Atari, which immediately just gives you the corner.
Kill the whole thing.
But I kind of wonder what actually... Can you play this way?
I think you might want to...
I mean, there is this cut, right?
Yeah, I think you should go back and connect one, and you have more liberties. You should connect there as white. And, it's going to be super hard for black to make.
Well, I think, but is black alive? Like, who wins this?
White.
See? Oh, no, this one's better. This one's better.
Yeah, this is... Probably...
Oh, this black wins, but it's tricky. Black has to find that move.
Yeah, but I think black could have died. Or, black should have died.
Yeah, I'm not
white
sure that's the
connects.
convinced line, but
Yeah.
in the meantime, this is still very strong for white. You guys can just feel how strong that white is. Even if white doesn't kill this, but white should. White will get something, right? I'm just sort of fumbling here. Very, very weak shape. So don't peep that. Super dangerous peep. Where are we? We are all the way back to here. Okay, so this is a really important move. And of course, white has to do something, but this is all expected. And in the meantime, this relationship is not as good as you think, because at any time you can lean on it. Or if you get really strong here, you can even just counterattack it and split. So this is a game. This is go.
Easier for black to manage.
But this is a little bit stronger than these two in some ways, right? Because white can attach here.
Yeah.
So white still has resources to annoy the corner and get shape here, probably more easily than black can get shape. But black's further out into the center, so it's a game, people. It's go. Okay, that's my point. It's not so much that this move is the winning move, but it's just that
It's not losing.
it doesn't lose the game. It keeps the game going. So I thought this was an easier one, but I was mistaken. Because I just look at that and go, oh my god, black needs to play here.
It definitely passed my radar. It just felt so slow.
I think you guys outsmarted yourselves. You're like, these problems are so deep.
What about something like that? With that?
Again, we don't like to peep this because the shape here is really poor.
Yeah,
Are you gonna block?
probably not.
Well,
Yeah.
here, if you block, why is this gonna connect on move?
And then you over.
And then you have to play here again,
Yeah.
right? And now your shape is not good. Because what, if you try to play this far? I mean, there's the very crude, this is not the best sequence, but it's illustrating, there's a double Atari. In this case, it's actually probably better to do this cut.
You
And
just want to seal it in.
yeah, what do you, I mean, do you come back here? Do you dare extend? How do you, if you just capture this stone, there's still a double Atari,
But take that some.
but white will take this first. Still seal you in, still have a problem. It's pain, it's so much pain. The peep doesn't help, that's the part I'm trying to help you. There are peeps that are helpful, there are peeps that are not. This is not a peep that you should look to make. When you're next to a wall, usually making this shape is not gonna be very helpful, usually. And what you're giving up on that wall is actually substantial. Because now, look at this wall, this is a nice wall. I think it was Kellen who wanted the peep here, was one of your ideas?
Yeah.
Right, now it's bad timing because again, same reason, now you're putting, it's a nice wall. And now there are moves over here that make Black's life really sad. Or sad looking. Even just there is fine. Probably better actually. This is a little aggressive, but it works.
But Black's move next.
Yeah, but I'm saying Black now needs to play there, right?
Yeah.
And then this.
So we don't know if this exchange is useful.
Save it.
Yeah, so save it. Okay. You guys ready for white problems? I know all these newly lined go boards show up so well on the camera. Aren't they fancy? Aren't they nice? Okay, what do you guys think about this one? Show me some ideas. One. Two. Three.
No.
Those are all three of my guesses.
Those are your three guesses. You're out. You're spent. Four. Five. Six. Seven.
I'm gonna
Okay,
get
keep
in
going.
trouble.
Oh, we're looking up in the notebook.
I just can't remember. What does that mean?
Again, the raving, diary of a madwoman.
I thought about this and that also.
Okay. 8, 9. 10. Is that everybody's ideas?
Yeah, that was bad.
So one of these moves is the pro move. But before we do that, let's go the opposite way. Do you guys think this one's the pro move?
No.
Well, partially because I just told you it wouldn't be. This is usually a bad exchange, right? I showed some of you guys this. Number one, this helps out this formation. And then let's say, you take something. Well, this isn't necessarily a good exchange for white. Because if you play this way, you have this problem. Never seen it before.
I usually just see the 3-3
You
directly.
just connect, but is this a reduction? I mean, you can play this way. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
But then there's this call. So it can turn into a pretty big reduction.
Rude.
Yeah, so we don't like to kick unnecessarily. Although AlphaGo does, so who knows. Maybe kicking is really good. Usually we're taught kicking is bad. So kicking this helps Black. Let's see, what else? some of you guys, I think Mark said here. This is like asking exactly a very uninteresting question. That's how I call this move. This is like going up to somebody on the street and saying, "Is the sky blue?" And the person's like, "Yeah, you idiot, the sky's blue." Like, what do you do next?
Back here?
Yeah, but how, where?
True.
Yeah, I mean, the stone's too close.
Yeah.
So if you back off a lot, the problem is black can just still come in here anytime black wants to and has backup.
And you gave black all the territory.
Yeah, this really helps the corner.
Okay.
So it's a little, you see this type of move when white is trying to build this.
Yeah.
How are you trying to build this? Do you have a wall over here? Do you have stones?
I need backup, you're right.
Yeah, you like, this is a move. If you have, this, if you have this over there, fine, play that. Right? This, you can say, you know what, I don't want to go in there ever. I just want to go and build that. Fine. Totally playable. Without all that other exchange, this is very difficult to make it worth into anything. Okay, I think someone said here. This is actually not a bad idea. I think this is a strong idea. It's not what the pros play. But if you play this move, I think this is a very strong move.
Because that way you get something on.
Yeah, basically it's a safe. You're saying I don't want to mess with this yet, right? I know you recognize that black has, basically pincer stone's already in place, right? So if you come in here, you're already under attack. So instead, hey, maybe I can build something over here, get a base, and then I can do something over here to break this up. I like that idea. But
Or at least break up a double wing.
yeah, and again, yes, exactly. Right. This is a nice big point for black to unite everything. So I like this idea. I think this is very, very strong. In the database, though, the pros overwhelmingly favor this one. Although maybe that's changing. Maybe there are. I think this was also played. I can't remember if it was this one or this one. But I think these were also played some portion of the time.
So this one, black will pincer. Right?
No.
No. What does black usually do?
I think in this case, black
mean-
was here.
Mine seemed to be the pincer, but
So the pincer is usually play the pincer when you want to build this,
Okay.
right? Because when you pincer, you're just going to expect the default to be running out.
Yep.
And so if you're just running out this way, this is the really lame way to run out, but we're just illustrating the concept, right?
Then come back in.
Yeah, now you didn't really build this side, you built over here. Like you're still going to fight over this, but now it's a fight for this.
that makes sense.
And actually the most common response to this pincer, right, is here. And the most common Joseki, and there's a lot of variations.
Black ends up the other side, not the pincer side.
Yes, if you've seen this before. This is the Lisaidal ladder Joseki. All right, if we have the ladder, we can play here. Let's say you guys are not so cavalier. So you just play there. So, and then black, basically plays move over here. So what did black build?
So I'm gonna
Like this side. Yeah. Okay. So most common pro move is still here. And the response after that, I think the most common by far is here. Because white still actually has a little bit of a spacing question. It's actually not that hard for white. But white will make a base, but black can sort of push into that base to help develop the corner. That's okay. I mean, this is a game. I think if you play here, I think this is also very good. I can't really criticize this move. I'm just showing you the pros play there. So I'm sure some of you guys got some points for that.
Yeah.
All right. Breaking up the black side while still approaching a corner. Potential to build something yourself. I mean, it's got a lot of little things going for it. Okay. Second white board. This board, I'm going to be proud of you for getting the wrong move. And then we're going to have to do some correcting. Because you might play in a nice looking direction, but the spacing will not necessarily work out the way you think it does. So what are your ideas? Over there, okay. 1. Where is that? That's not.
I think he was just
I just
giving
put it back.
Oh, I was putting it back, okay.
That's nutty.
I was thinking one of these two.
Okay,
Yeah.
2, 3. Four. So if you are going to play over here, this actually, these are defects that usually. This accomplishes kind of the same thing, but better shape. So we'll say 4 or 5. We'll add that one.
I was saying this,
Okay, 6,
possibly this,
7.
but somewhere over there.
Okay.
It feels like this is Sente here. Yeah.
It is Sente, but it's a move we want to save for later
Yeah,
because we don't know we
because
want that move.
You don't, if you have this, then you can do this.
That move. Yeah, you don't know you want to push.
Beyond that, feels like this prevents a little bit of mischief later.
That's also possible. It's a little slow.
It's usually when it sounds further
when
away.
it's further, it's more.
Yeah, this used to be, whoops, when this is here, this used to be considered a strong move. It's no longer, it hasn't been that way for many years. Because this stone still has a hard time really activating. Like this stone, don't get me wrong, this stone can do a lot of things. But basically white has developed responses to deal with all of them.
Okay, so
And so we don't usually say this move is needed unless black has other things around.
it's a good move if I'm a time traveler.
If you're, let's forget the time travel.
It'll be
And just say, if you are worried because black has something over here and maybe something over here, that this group needs to, tighten up its defenses, this is a good shape move.
Okay.
But in this case, the board's too open. I forgot how many moves we looked at, but one of them was the pro move.
Ding, ding, ding.
All right, so the first move I want to look at, this one. Because instinctually, this is what I think should draw a lot of your attention. It's not the pro move, though. So why? So first, let's debunk this move. I mean, look, we have a wall here, right?
But you're trying to build terraform.
So we're building.
That seems to be-
No, you're building. You're extending from a wall. You want to extend away from a wall. Yeah. Here's the thing. Black doesn't do this yet. Black just plays here. Where's your next move, white?
Oh,
I guess you could try to
slide.
jump.
Okay. If you slide, actually, I think black. This is still okay to do. But let's just pretend we do that. Now, what's your next move? Okay, that's fine. And here we will play out this Shusaku.
Ladder's good.
Ladder's okay right now. How does this group feel now?
Lonesome.
Very lonesome. It's starting to feel like we need to go back and add Carl's move here. And if we either need to do that, or we don't have time to do anything else, black's now building, even though we gave up the corner, it feels like black already has a corner and is building something that white can't match anywhere else on the board. So it's the question of, how strong is this little wall formation? And it should be pointed out, right, that AlphaGo doesn't play this. AlphaGo does not like to be white in this position. And if it does have to be white, it'll play this way. It'll exchange, it'll take out that stone and put it there instead. But, again, this is a more common position in the database by far. Although you'll see this change very quickly. You'll see 90% of pros play this now just because AlphaGo plays it. Like, they all bow down before AlphaGo now. Like, it's the AlphaGo player.
They've all been beaten by Alpha.
Right, it's Go players are just a pack of wolves. Whatever the alpha is, they all just submit to. regardless of whether or not it's actually correct or just.
Isn't that what this entire lesson is about? The pros are doing this, so we should follow them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how we're learning today. It's learning style.
Crawl before you learn to walk.
That's right. So,
Watch
in the end, this is nice, but it's not quite defensible. And in the end, if we really want to defend this, we probably actually need to put a stone there. This is also not the pro move, though. We don't necessarily want to play this directly because it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice if we could play something like this, sort of in tempo. This is the pro move. And the reason why we play it is it puts a little bit more pressure on black than you might realize, at least as far as this corner is concerned. Because where does black play?
Pull back.
Yeah, if we do this sort of standard defensive posturing, white can play here. Do you defend?
Yeah?
Well, you don't really have to because
That's true.
So
you could play this side. You could Tanuki at this point. But let's just say Tanuki. Then white will, if you Tanuki, I should say, white will play here now.
Yeah. That seems not great.
And this is not great, right? You can't, so you can actually see that even though it looks like you have Miai,
Yeah.
it's really not that good because black can't really block off the corner because they're just standard sort of way. You obviously can't play this, or you can play it, I guess, but you don't really get more than one eye from it. Yeah, so that's a very sad black corner. So even though it looks like we can Tanuki, it isn't really the case. So if we can't Tanuki, we have to choose. What do you choose? Do you play this right now?
Isn't
White gets it.
Well, white will probably respond here first.
Now, I mean, yeah, if you do that, white tends to want to respond.
But now we're fixing this sort of in time because we've already reduced you over here.
Yeah.
So before when we were fixing this, remember how black was getting this big giant side? Where's the big giant side that black is getting in compensation? So it's like we fix this in tempo, in beat, in rhythm with the flow of the stones. If black doesn't make this extension, well, we can still play here and make this exchange, later on. And so we can still expand from this wall. So this is very, very subtle, right? This is like a very, very subtle spacing timing thing. But because, we can't really effectively extend this way from this wall, we have to find a sequence that lets us sort of do it in tempo, or at least defend ourselves in tempo. And so because of that, we're going to approach this way. That's all. Confusing? Brain burn?
That's pretty cool.
Okay. Any points scored over here? You got 3? That was your first pick?
Yeah.
Wow.
bigger side of the board?
Okay. That too. It's also the biggest part of the board. Hey, that's even simpler logic. Let's play the bigger side. All right, 2 boards left on the final table. Show me your ideas. One, 2, 3.
I mean, just over here, there's also
4,
other possibilities, I
5,
suppose, but I think maybe that's
6. I think all those have already been claimed, but
I've seen this
yes?
very commonly.
Yes?
So
That's
the
common.
difference of approaching low.
Does it force the response in the same way that the high?
Yeah, so usually we can at least presume that low Chinese was played by black, white played here, black responded, white's move.
Yeah.
And so Mark, you have any other ideas? Or all those are,
I would have gone right here.
no, it's a little bit weird. Okay.
That's my number 1.
Okay. So one of these is the pro move. This one.
That was close.
Now we have a 5 space over here.
Okay, so that
2
was my-
spaces is okay.
my number 2 move.
Yeah, there you go.
My number 1.
You're building more than black is.
You know, when white plays this way, we're saying, hey, you know the whole low Chinese thing? I'm not dealing with that. Just take the points. I'm just doing my own thing, right? This is how you effectively say that. Instead of trying to break it up with a dangerous move like this, you say, you know what? I don't want it. I just don't want it. And so you black finish the corner, white takes the outside, done. If black tries to resist, well, now this becomes much more interesting. Because black's normal response over here,
Nice.
right, is to play over here. Yeah, but this gets crazy.
Nice cut.
Because when you have help over here. So, yeah, again, normally both players are just happy. White said, hey, take your points. I just want the outside. Black says, yes, those points are mine. Done.
But if white
Very
keys, then will black?
If black, if let's say white plays over here like this, so white will probably take this because this is a little overextended. And this is also a big move.
And that's another risk reduction. On that side.
Yeah, if white plays here now, at this point, black might take this opportunity to Tanuki. Now that this is sort of congealed. But yeah, nice. You guys are all professional Go players now.
And there's no weakness in the large knight jump versus.
Well, this one has the obvious weakness,
Right.
right? This one still has a weakness, but it's not as strong.
Okay.
Black can still play here.
Right.
Don't be fooled into thinking that black can't play here.
Yeah. That's what I was worried about, so I went one closer.
So the problem with that is black will approach you here.
That's 6 spaces.
And it has
now-
enough room for a base.
You know, you can make a base, but it's sad. It's just a sad
Yeah.
base. Whereas if you extend a little bit further and black comes in, like, yeah, black can take away your base, but you're actually gonna have a nicer outside.
Okay.
Like you're forcing black to take something small
Okay.
if he really wants to disrupt you. And alternatively, you can also play this way.
I was that close to 5 points.
You know, like if you place like this, black can't quite respond. Black has to be very careful about responses.
Yeah.
And white can maybe build, I mean, if you have something over here, you might be able to just exchange this for that,
Makes sense.
as an alternative. Okay, last board. So let's see who's in the lead. How many points do you guys all have? Oh geez, I have to add up a 3 and 2 1s.
Sorry.
You have 3 points?
So if it's the first one, it's the 3 points, right?
Yes.
All right, so I have 3 points.
You got 2.
3 points, 3 points, 2 points, 7 points.
Oh, jeez.
That's great. Do you know, Lucy?
I don't know.
Why not?
I haven't really
You had one job.
tried the points. I
She
think
can't
I
read her
have
scribbles.
more than 5, but less than 10.
All right, so we should have like 2 people very close to
really
8.
understand the rules.
12.
You have 12 points. We already have one person broken. You guys are
Nice.
doing fine. All right, this one. Show me what you got.
Right here.
1,
3-3.
2,
3-5.
3, 4.
Pretty close in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, everyone's eyes are drawn to that corner. 5,
I don't remember. It's somewhere in that area.
6, 7.
It's actually kind of interesting.
That is interesting, yes.
Oh, wait, no, I was looking at the wrong one.
Anything else?
I mean, this is playable also, but I don't like it as much.
Okay,
I would
yeah.
probably-
Usually we don't see high when white doesn't have backup over here.
Yeah,
If white can't develop
exactly.
something big over there, we don't usually play white
That's why
on the double.
I only had this one.
Okay, okay. Well, one of these moves is the pro move.
Like one of the ones on the board?
One of the ones.
This is playable also.
This is playable, but it's
But
not the
not
pro
as
move.
good.
Pros actually do not like this Shusaku for
Yeah.
white usually.
Not when, I mean, it's.
Like ever. They just generally
they
don't like
it.
this
Yeah,
Shusaku.
It's crude.
Like they don't.
whatever.
This is the pro move.
Oh, wait.
Isn't this exactly what Sun and Say wants?
Congrats, Mark.
Yeah, but
Thank you.
it's fair.
You guys off by
Yeah, I
one.
guess you're right, because in the Chinese opening, this is also considered sort of fair.
And the idea, part of the idea is that black is banking everything on one giant territory. Right, so this is fair.
I would play it as white, not black, because
You would play it as white? Because you don't like to bank on one giant territory?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm actually, white could also approach here and do this as well. And I've seen games where white leaps into both corners and black just has this. And then white's next move, of course, is somewhere around here. Depending, white wants to be super safe. White wants to be a little on the edge. White wants to be really greedy.
yeah,
White wants to be wahoo!
that's crazy. I think for almost every pincer on wall 3, it's jumped into 3-3 as the first choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll see, like professionals very much don't like to do this. Like very, very much don't like to do this.
Even like on the 2-space high, do they jump in?
Wait, which?
2-space
Like
high.
this?
Yeah.
Oh no, they'll play this. But yeah, in this one? You mean like this? Yes. The first major exception that you find is this one. The 1-space high,
Together.
you'll see that this is better. And the reason is because this shape is and you get this one for free, of course, is really strong for black. Everything's connected. There'll be very little weaknesses.
That's a big wall.
It's a big wall facing the right direction. Very, very hard to deal with. 2 spaces, there's actually a little bit of a finagle room for the defect. So you'll see 2 spaces still jump in, but you can jump out. Usually, however, if you have a 2-space and you jump out as white, it's actually seen as a little bit of a minus for white locally, because black is getting this move in tempo. And if the rest of the Joseki usually looks like this, and it looks like white got something great, but there's actually very few points in here. And then later on, there's a number of follow-ups that are problematic for white. And so white can very easily get sealed, yes. Or here, depending on whatever the needs are for the shape. And so 6, 7 points.
Which is already covered by the extension over there.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, don't, you shouldn't laugh at 7 points, right? But it's not anything to be super excited about. You could have just taken the corner and taken 8,
Yeah.
right? So there you are. So final scores:
4 points.
4 points.
15.
15.
8.
8. Nice.
Pie.
Pie. Sweet. Okay. Good. And mystery points.
I'll go with 6.
Okay. So again, I feel like I have to say that all of this, what I just taught you, might be just crap because AlphaGo will come and destroy us all. And so what the pros have played over the last 50 years really doesn't matter. And no one is interested, no one cares anymore. I kind of half suspect that this video on YouTube will be like one of the lowest watched videos because again, no one cares what the pros are doing right now. They only care if the pros are playing AlphaGo moves.
Pros still beat cube players.
They do, quite regularly, I'm told.
Well, do they even play them that regularly?
Yeah, actually, I mean, teaching games,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if you take lessons, you'll play a pro every week. If you,
The only trouble now is knowing what to do with those moves.
yeah.
Like if somebody
Well,
doesn't
remember-
follow the normal.
Remember how we said the
Process.
go game really takes place during the mid game. The middle
Yeah.
game is when the game actually takes place, right? Li Chang-ho says the beginning is mysterious. We can't really know what's going on. So go happens in the middle. And so all this stuff is just getting you guys to the middle game. You know, can you get yourself to a decent enough position in the middle where you can actually play the game of Go? And so that's why we're using these heuristics of these professional games and professional shapes, and what's been done historically, right? So you guys can at least on some level appreciate how to get to that middle game point, but also just what sort of formations and concepts you should expect to have going to that middle game. Anyway, that was way too deep. Let's be done.
Cool, thank you.
Bye, Internet.